Hey, what's up everyone? This is Rafael from iFix Logic Boards, and today we're working on iPhone 6 that is stuck in DFU mode, or recovery mode. Doesn't restore because it's getting error 4013, which means, typically it means it's a NAND chip issue, which is the memory itself. So let's remove the memory. Let's use our new programmer tool. Should have prepared that before. Flash it and put it back on, and hopefully it will fully restore. This is obviously not a data recovery, this is just to get the phone running. So let's try it out and hopefully we'll get it running. Alright, so this is the memory, and first, before removing it, I'm gonna heat it up a little bit and start removing this underfill, glue, whatever you want to call it, so it's easier to remove the chip, and so it won't actually remove this these components with it. I'm just gonna show a little bit because when I'm recording through the microscope, I only see through one eye, and that's not good here. So this is the idea, just scrubbing out the glue at low heat to loosen it up, and I'm gonna do that around the whole chip, and I'll show you after it's done. So right now, let's try to remove it. This looks like a 16GB chip. Just in case I will need to replace it, I do have a few dead boards that I can use the chip from. So let's put some flux around the chip. Okay, so let's heat it up. I have a razor blade just in case. So you can't really tell much through the camera. I'd rather see through both eyes, and you can see the angle from the camera, from the DSLR. This is a Nikon D5300 with a 24 prime lens that was made in the 80s. Actually, let's get this cable out. Here's our NAND. Here's the empty board. So I'm gonna clean up the pads and prepare for attaching either new chip or flash chip. Let's see what's gonna happen. So I'm just using leaded solder to tin the pads. Places where there's like a lot of glue, like, I don't know, can you see that? That's all glue. Like, there's usually a lot of it on the sides. I would like to scrape it off a little bit so the new chip can just sit down, because the balls are going to be a little bit smaller than from the factory. But honestly, let's get to the fun part, which is the memory chip itself. I'm going to clean the pads before putting it into the EIP programmer. So I'm just gonna put some solder on the pads so it's easier to remove it, to clean the pads flat so they sit nicely in the programmer. Let's clean this one off. And this is what we got. And now we're going to put it in the programmer. So how this VIP programmer works, you have this socket for the actual memory itself. You need to be careful which way you put it in, so you won't short it out. I believe that's it. Lock it, place it in this box here, magical box, and there's a micro USB in the back. Let's plug it into the computer. I'm getting some lights. So while this is plugged in, I'm gonna use my phone to do screen capture. So you can see here, here's the software. I just downloaded a new version. Solve error 4013. So I just clicked on iPhone 6, because that's what it is. And you can see the instructions are click erase all. So here's the serial number, which I'm going to copy just in case. And it shows you 64-bit, 16 gigabytes. So what I'm going to do now is go here to erase all. Do you really want to delete the NAND? Yes. It's erasing. And it's doing its thing. The operation done. Unplug this from power. Pop it open. Remove the memory. Let's rebuild this puppy. So here I have a stencil. And when I'm rebuilding, I like to use this tape, which is air duct tape. It's, you know, heat resistant. It's pretty strong, which is good. So I like to take the chip to the bottom, line the holes. I'm actually planning to do my own stencil for iPhone 6 Plus Touch ICs. I want to make them a little bit thicker, more heat resistant, and at the end I would like them to make a little bit bigger balls than these kinds of eBay stencils that are available. I think that would be good. So I'll see, maybe I'll have them soon. You can see I have the balls aligned in the stencil. I'm going to put some soldering paste. Okay, fire up the hot air. Let's make some balls. This is cool every time I do it. And there are all new balls. I'm just gonna clean it. Clean the pads a little bit. I'm going to put some fresh flux. This one I don't have to worry about the alignment too much because the spacing between the balls is so big that once the chip heats up, the solder gets hot and we'll just, you know, surface tension, we'll just bring it in the spot and we'll be all good. So let's solder this sucker back. Try to make it so hopefully you can maybe see the chip going down. Okay, now the chip is moving on its own. That means the solder underneath got melted and the chip just jumped in its spot. And usually after it does that, I like to have for like about 5 seconds and then just let it cool. Okay, so let's put this back in its housing and try to restore. Hopefully we'll not get that error anymore. Okay, so now I'm gonna plug the battery. It's probably gonna go straight to DFU mode because there's absolutely no software on it. Plug it to iTunes. Let's restore. Restore. Yes. Extracting software. So I'm just gonna let it restore. Keep this camera rolling. And hopefully it's gonna restore. Well, error 40. Okay, we got error 40. What's error 40? That's from the software as far as I know. This is the chip. When I was erasing it, it removed this serial number as well. Luckily I saved it on the computer, so I reprogrammed it with the serial number. I also reprogrammed another memory just in case maybe this one's just bad, because, you know, I don't know. So I reprogrammed this one, which is also 16 gig I believe, with the same serial number. So I'm gonna put it back on and hopefully we'll restore that. Rating that error 40 is popular for the VP box, whatever the box is called. I've just replaced the NAND chip with donor one. Put the serial number on it. And let's see if this will work, because I was getting all kinds of errors with the other one. So plug in the battery. Connecting to iTunes. The phone is detected. Alright, we got this phone restored. I had to replace the actual NAND. It restored, has activation screen, Wi-Fi works. So this is all for this video. If you have any questions, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you later in the next video.